Hi there. After doing the ride into the 94 National at Rock Creek, Utah, with George Thompson and some of the boys from the Poison River Party, we talked about putting on a ride up here in the Eagle Cap Wilderness so some of the guys in the AMM could see this country. Early the next year, as soon as the pack station opened up at Cornucopia, I went up and talked to the owner. Checked into what it would cost to have some fellows rent horses and be able to ride out of the pack station there at Cornucopia up into the wilderness. Eldon quoted me a pretty good price and said that I could act as his agent and be responsible for his animals. That way he wouldn't have to charge the guys a fee for a wrangler to go along. They could also rent as many pack mules as they needed to pack all of their gear. So in the spring issue of the Tomahawk and Long Rifle, I put out a notice that I'd be putting on a ride up in this country. I got responses from 8 or 9 fellas, and that was great. Most of the men didn't have a lot of experience at horse travel, even though they were experienced mountaineers. So it was a fun time. It was interesting the day that we left from the pack station. The fellas stood there pretty much with their hands in their pockets while Eldon Deerdorf and his wrangler Chris Bell got their animals all saddled up and ready to go. They acted like it was a catered ride. 2 days later, the fellows were saddling up their own animals, packing up their own mule, throwing their own diamond hitches, and taking care of all their own outfit. It was a fun time. I think everybody really enjoyed it. This was a 5-day trip. We did 4 nights out and then 5 days on the trail. We made a loop up out of Cornucopia up to a place called Trail Creek, and from Trail Creek we went to Sugarloaf Mountain. Sugarloaf Mountain we wound back around, down around by Bear Creek, and down into Clear Creek Cabin. We spent the night at Clear Creek Cabin. A large herd of elk came in and was entertainment for the fellows from the city. That was a real treat. We left Clear Creek Cabin the next morning, headed back up over the mountain, and dropped down into the canyon of East Fork, where the East Fork of Pine Creek runs. There we spent our last night on the trail. The next day we had a short 4.5 mile ride back down into the pack station. When we got back to the pack station after the ride, Eldon and his wife Marge had a huge meal prepared for us. They had giant steaks and baked potatoes and salad, whiskey, beer, and 3 different flavors of homemade ice cream. They treated us like royalty. It was really great. Before we left on the ride, Marge and Eldon had breakfast prepared for us. We had gone out to supper the evening before at the Pine Valley Lodge, where Dale and Babette Beatty fixed a wonderful meal for us, including elk sauerbraten. And then that morning, before we left, Marge made her famous sourdough biscuits and eggs and all the trimmings. It was a great send-off. Many thanks to Marge and Eldon Deerdorf. Hope you enjoy this video.
Every time he puts his shorts on in the morning, he's gonna go.
The lash cinch goes over the whole pack, comes back underneath. The hook always points to the back. This is where we put our. Go over the top. Go over the top.
Not underneath?
No.
That's what
over
I did
the top.
last time.
Yeah, you stand right back here with it in your right hand, and that'll keep you straight.
Okay.
And you just do that. Take about 3 turns with it.
We always went over it to ourselves. And
Start low enough.
That's the one that's solid.
pulling over
Yeah.
there.
There you go. Under. Yep. This way, when you pull down at this point.
The party is gathering at Stockman's Restaurant and Lounge, preparatory to our massive feed.
You guys all ready to go, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All ready to go.
You're playing with a kicker? Tomorrow.
I'm hungry.
And now, it's off to the restaurant. One of the finest institutions of its kind in the world. Our host is dressed for the occasion.
My wife would dive in.
They're painted on both sides. It can be.
All this and placemats too.
I'm not at a vacant spot. No. After this is over, just don't tell my wife.
Very much so.
Hey, how's the city doing?
And you don't care.
Bill of fare, yum yum, stick-cooked possum stuffed with wild rice, puree of beaver tail on Melba toast, fillet of cougar, roasted buzzard breast, basted with bear grease, and all of this for only 5 plues.
I don't usually like cabbage.
Well, I've been so busy eating, I've forgotten to document this magnificent feed, but we're now on the main course, and it's been delicious.
All you that's going to feel this. I don't know if you can hear me. Diet for. You've missed. Yeah. You've missed California. Halfway to heaven.
There is a God. There really is a God. Putting food together like this.
Orange County.
Don't get any
We
better.
got a little gift from Mike here in honor of his leadership in this.
Whose way ship?
Hey, please be quiet. Anyway, this is officially settles the Bushway issue.
God!
This is officially. I'd like to present you with your official Bushway tap.
I don't have to wear this on the
Absolutely,
ride.
absolutely.
Jeez.
Put it on. Put it on, please.
Poggy Towels, New York City. All right.
The Bruce the Moose.
Is it my size? Oh, perfect. Is it me?
Bushway.
There's more.
Whoa.
Where's that go? In the back.
All right.
Kill him.
Not
Slide it in this
not
ear,
to the
come out the other.
well, old people made this possible. That's great.
Don't take the hat off, Mike. Never take the hat off.
Never take that out. Warm threats, been there, done that. All right.
4 or 5 years.
I think it's 1801.
Eddie, isn't that beautiful?
I'm going by memory. I can't see diddly squat.
And it's ride, ride, ride as we get set here at the Cornucopia Pack Station to hit the trail.
Get ready, Pat.
Yep,
Smile, little go.
Master Wrangler Eldon is.
How you doing?
Good morning. George and Mike. All set up here.
Just start, piling their stuff out there so you see exactly.
Changing the gun here so she won't catch in the brush.
Is there where you need it? Right here.
Oh, you just want to go through that one? Oh, I see. Okay. You'll see the game here.
Checking Kay's 1820 saddle out, see if it's going to fit.
So he gets on the back. It is now Monday morning. We've all had breakfast at the pack station. The horses are all saddled. Now they're getting the mules together and finding out exactly how much gear we got, how it's going to fit. We'll see how many mules we end up with in this string. I'm guessing 3 total, but we may have to go for 4. We'll see.
Video makers? And they were talking.
Well, you got to be in it too.
What if I got a
That'd be all right on top. Brownsville? Eugene, Brownsville?
We are slowly starting the metamorphosis from the beer cans to pre-1840. Slowly. Got a little send-off party. Bill Norlander from the paper is here doing a little article.
Man, nice view.
Is this?
The only 3 that falling all over.
Well, she probably won't because they're standing there. Yeah.
There you go.
So when you're kind of one man.
We're not taking that brown bag on top. Is that okay? Yeah, let's don't.
All right.
Number one, if you allow your horse to get too close to the man in front of you. Now, all of Eldon's horses don't have any problem. They're together all the time. But mine aren't in this string. So I'm telling you for that benefit. Best thing to do is kind of like driving a car. Leave a length or 2 in between. Some horses walk faster than others going uphill, and that's where you'll usually get in trouble. I saw a bad wreck in New Mexico a couple of years because a mare got her rear end nosed by gelding, and she didn't like it, all right? So give the guy in front of you a little bit of room. The second thing is, when we all get in the saddle like this and getting ready to ride off, don't start riding off till everybody's in the saddle and ready to go.
That's a very good point.
Because what happens is, that horse you're trying to get onto wants to catch up with them other guys, and he's going to run right out from under you, okay? Remember, a good ride is no wreck. Let's go have some fun. Eldon,
Another thing, Mike, if you got any problem any time, holler. If you saddle slips or something,
You
get
bet.
off your horse, get
I'll
everybody
take care of
stopped, and then he'll take care of it.
today, tomorrow you're on your own.
Coming back tonight.
Good deal.
What's that?
I like it. I like it too. It works real well.
Oh, I didn't give my honey a kiss before I left. Bye-bye, sweet cheeks. See you later.
Yeehaw! Hours spent in the saddle are not deducted from your allotted time on the earth. Adios.
Howdy, man.
Yeah.
See you Friday.
Just ridden up, overlooking East Fork. Step down and take a break here. Give the horses a break, fellers a break. I noticed Koenig going into wobbles there.
Yeah. Pretty good country.
How's your buns, Pat?
They're holding up okay.
Good.
Maintaining an even strain, as they say.
I was noticing when you stood up in your saddle, it almost looked like your stirrups might be a little short.
I think they are, because my knees are a bit cramped.
It seemed like you had a lot of space
Yeah,
between
so
your crotch and the
I
saddle.
think there was, he said there was one more notch on them.
Okay.
See to that.
Well, the thing to do is
just put one hand on it, right?
like that.
Yeah.
The thing to do is this evening when we get into camp, get all your saddlebags barrels.
They do great. I spent all together about 6 months in Portland area, Portland, Dallas, and whatnot.
Brain salt?
Well, we've reached our first night's camp. And we'll see about getting the mules unloaded.
Yes, and yeah. that's
just gonna
just
say, do we want to take the
pick it.
hanger
Yeah,
off?
pick it straight up from the bottom. There you go. You got it. And I'll do the same thing right over here.
Sort of thinking of leaving all this shit on there.
Yeah, we'll leave it on and turn it off.
Now we got the saddles off the horses. Got a fire going. And Kay's roasting coffee. The creek water is cold and delicious. Sates the thirst. And a delicate little tendril of pink sends us off to our first night on the trail. Well, clear skies greet us this morning. We hope our fearless leader is in good health. He retired a little early last night, thinking he was feeling a little peaked. Okay, is getting the morning wake-up call happening here.
I don't know. I'm not Lizzie Borden. Lizzie Borden. Lizzie Borden.
Took an axe, gave her mother 40 whacks,
One
then
deed was nicely done. She gave her father 41. Yes.
a cheery little ditty.
Yeah. If to life and
What is she doing?
Well, we got some breakfast going here. George is cooking a couple of his sausages. I got some salt pork going in the pan, preparatory to making cornmeal. Well, I finished my corn mush, but that corn cake is looking pretty good.
You know, dry storage. No refrigeration. You gone down any?
Well, maybe a little bit. As long as I don't see any red streaks running up my arm, I feel
It's just
all right.
a damn tree spider.
You know, I've gotten bit before. I had to go to the doctor, see.
Well, time to get the old bedrolls packed up. A couple of our horses were hard to catch this morning, but Mike is tempting him in with some grain that he brought expressly for that purpose. Mules have been stirring them up too. That's Jesse and James, the mules, and they live up to their namesake. There we go. Now we're getting the pack saddles on. Using the pack station's equipment here, so it's not fully primitive. Next team is getting their pack saddle in place. Now Mike has advised us that we saddle all the mules first, put their loads on last minute. Last thing to go on, first thing to come off are the mules' loads.
One on that side.
So I wore it a couple times. Try that on.
Any better?
That one's hung this is sitting up way too high.
It is.
Yeah, I think so.
And after finding out how many mountain men it takes to load a mule, a certain amount of tugging and fussing, we got our packs on. And so we're riding out of camp. on the second day of our trek. Bit of a wreck here. Tool lost its load.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, we got the load a little reorganized here. Trying for a lower, wider effect.
He stopped still. You know, I felt a tug on the lead rope just about the time they yelled stop. I looked back and that whole pack saddle was under his bucket.
Yeah. Was it the middle one, was it?
Lead one, the rocks I put in the middle one, down and sat out.
Well, time for a little nooning here.
Yeah, that's easy.
Okay.
47 miles and you can't see.
I would gladly trade mine for less power.
As we get set for camp here, got some visitors.
Overhanging rock, startling Kirker into leaping across the chasm. A magnificent steed went as far as he could, landed at a breakneck run, threw me back in the saddle, at which point the saddle broke from the sheer impact.
I remember that leap, as a matter of fact.
Well, folks, this is it.
A whole new group of elk has come down out of the trees. Jeez, look at them all. Well, we got a decent little camp set up here.
Well, you told me take it off.
Well, as soon as the water heats up and the coffee beans roast, we'll have coffee.
That is before.
Let's see the
After.
my oh my, how yummy. Ooh, looks so good.
You care for a piece?
Violent. Steer that around. That side.
Well, the law of the land is to mortgage your soul. But the code of the West is to leave free eagles
Right off Riders of the Sky.
Really?
That's a rather classic.
Theater of the mind.
Yeah.
I listen to it as often as I can.
Practitioners of the cowboy way.
That's it. Ranger Doug.
Well, adios, goodbye, amigos. I am leaving you today. Ain't nobody around the city's gonna miss me anyway. This old money making's taking all the time I have to play. Mama, hush your mouth, I'm headed out to rendezvous today. The road of life is paved with good intentions, I am told. So I best be on my way now, or I may not ever go. Ain't no need to be begging me to stay just one more day. This old wild goose is cutting loose way down Texas way. Way down Texas way, they play fiddle music every night, and the dance halls ring with laughter till the early morning light. When them cowboys get through picking, there's not much that's left to say. You can really have a good time, sugar, way down Texas way. Way down Texas way.
Or your music brought in the elk.
Well, and another night comes upon our second day on the trail. Well, dawn has risen with one little drama here. One of our horses has gotten loose. comes our morning sun, ready to warm us after a tolerably cold night. A steaming cup of coffee and the first rays of the sun. What a combination. So clear and so bright. Why, even Terry looks bright this morning.
Trying to make this one jealous.
Right up there and got you. What's wrong with us?
Sun is high. Our fire pit is tidied up. Last minute wash up. Our scouts are returning from their expedition to check our outgoing trail.
Yeah, there's a couple of places that are a little. There's one real steep, rocky area, and then there's going through a lot of snow drifts, down timber. But we can make it. Yeah.
Good long shot.
We got the mules packed and we're saddling up.
Another early start.
You okay, John?
And so we're off on our third day excursion. We got some snow left over. Take it easy, Tansy.
Traveling through snow in July. See any hospitals?
Check cinches and check loads.
Getting them loads cinched down.
Taking care of the mules, okay?
All right.
It'd be easier on everybody.
Rewarded every 2 seconds.
Whoa. Well, I guess we're going. Slop. And here by by the lake, we have our noon break.
Yeah, I traded a pair of glasses.
Yeah, back underway. Over more rotting snow. Boggy spots. And we gotta stop and adjust packs. Adding a rock there to even up the weight. And finally, we break out into some open country. Another short break under slightly threatening skies. Well, there's what happened to the last party that didn't listen to their bouchouet. But we're all faithful followers and good students in this brigade. Well, we'll see what these clouds bring. Maybe we'll get a break. Well, we're going to camp in the trees here in the hopes of getting a little out of the wind. Business, as always, is to get the mules unloaded.
This side, I mean, going up now. There you go. This is Mike's pad. I used the wrong one here.
Nature for that.
Mm-hmm. It's beginning to look like a diamond fly. Hey, this is not bad. Saddle blankets for a pad. Good wool blanket. We're gonna be styling.
And it's time tonight.
Groups have set up a sort of Taj Mahal canopies here. Saddle's undercover. Meanwhile, Kay takes a well-deserved break. You got dinner and coffee hanging on the dingle stick. Various forms of dinner are coming off the fire here at the main camp.
Who's doing dishes tonight?
Who?
Ryan.
Pretty good. It's got seasoning.
Here's Pat getting a drink out of the clear mountain stream. This is pure spring water.
It's nectar, I tell you, nectar.
Have another drink, Pat. The horses have eaten. They're taking it easy now for a while. These mountains are incredibly beautiful. We're very lucky to be here. What do you think?
This is super. I can see snowy mountains behind you. We got the greenest grass in the world growing right here, and nature's bounty for our taking. And as the fading dusk comes, we have a little visitor come down to drink our water.
We get to bed. Good morning, Pat.
Good morning. The deer licked our skillet nice and clean last night.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, they did, and then they chewed my scarf all up.
They munched it up.
They munched it up.
I'll have to get a picture of that. Got these guys some. Well, maybe they're getting pesky, huh? Nice looking things, huh? They couldn't care less about us, could they?
Yeah. That's neater than I'll get. I've never had this happen to me before.
Well, this happens to me all the time.
It's the goddamnest thing I've ever seen in my life.
This is straight out of Bambi Meets Godzilla.
Well, you guys wanted deer this year, you know where to hunt. But I couldn't shoot them.
But the that's getting a little salty now. That's got us.
Well, this morning it's almost like we know what we're doing. We're saddled up and packed, and I don't think it's more than 9:30 or so. Well, we didn't do it all in one piece, but basically today we've ridden from the top of that elevation all the way on down, and here we are encamped next to a rushing brook, which is advertised to contain trout. Some of us have even gone as far as taking baths.
Moved enough where I got my leg out from underneath it. Laying there, I can see her side.
Howdy, little boys.
A close-up of the sophisticated equipment reveals
Stick, string, hook,
Cheese.
and cheese.
well,
Hey, this is it. You got it. You'll each be given a white heart, and you can take some hair from your horse's tail or mane and put it on your medallion.
Oh, cool.
Go with it, that's
Hey,
right.
Tom, you take a little bit of Hoover home with you no
Yeah,
matter what.
no matter what.
Damn. Hoover gets to go
I'll
home.
tell you, this is
All right.
Terry, the beads aren't in here. Do you know what we did with the white hearts?
Are those beads in there?
No.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The beads and the little needle.
They're not in this
There
bag.
was a few of them in your repair kit. I don't know.
Oh,
if
I
there
bet
was
that's
enough
where they
of
are.
them.
There should have been enough, one for each guy.
thank you.
Getting a haircut.
Cool. All right.
no shit.
Very nice.
Bike
It's about as fancy as we could make it.
Good enough.
I want it silver.
You're welcome.
Through to start with, and then I was gonna get it down here and then go ahead and
See those clouds, Peanut?
there we go. Now what we have here is one well-aged prune, dried prune, dating from 1991, given to me personally by no less a personage than Gary Sweeney, which is now going to be marinated and consumed with all due ceremony in honor of Sweeney's absence. How about that?
That's good, that's good. Let me go get that Kahlua.
Well, there's loyalty for you. Jack was wandering out in the pasture, and he's actually coming when he's called. Well, there it is, the Sweeney prune.
Being dissected, one more sliver, tender morsel. Notice.
What flair.
With surgical delicacy, the knife slips
Let's
through.
hear it, huh?
And who's the next lucky recipient
Oh, it's-
for this
Why, here it is.
this
It's
trail
Randy.
delicacy?
Get a hold of like a
It's
toad.
Randy!
Now,
Randy ain't getting any to
In
dumb
honor
shit.
of Sweetie.
Randy kicked over the
Boy, it tastes like shit.
Chances by kicking
No,
it
you
over.
haven't. There's still some
You
left.
won't let me have any.
Still, I had to refill it.
No, that's my punishment.
How about
I'll
it, Ryan?
Take it like a man.
Oh, come on.
Everybody's had some.
Only because no
When
one
have you
else
ever heard
will.
a kid say stuff?
Let me take
You
my
notice
chunk
how he
of
gave all
Sweeney
that prune
prune.
away so he doesn't
Hello,
get any?
Gary.
Oh!
It'll be delicious, I'm sure.
Oh, my God. We'll have
It's
to rinse
your
it off
size.
again.
This is Thursday evening. We're all here in camp, about 4 miles out of the pack station. Critters are all settled in. Some of the fellas too. We're going to have a little music around the fire. A little entertainment for the last night in camp.
Saloon, saloon, saloon. It runs through my head like a tune. I don't like cafes, I hate cabarets, but mention saloon and my cares fade away. For it brings back a fond recollection of a little old low-ceilinged room with a bar and a rail, a dime and a pail. Saloon, saloon, saloon. Cowboys get through picking, there's not much that's left to say. You can really have a good time, sugar, way down Texas way. Way down Texas way. Well, it's the morning of our last day on the trail. Good old Kay is getting the coffee going. The horses have mowed down their pasture pretty well, as usual. George has a ruse and is getting a shot of the old nectar. And suddenly, the sun peeks over the mountain and begins to warm our camp. I hope you're thoroughly comfortable there, Tansy. Jeez, they're dropping like flies.
How you do that, I don't know. But they don't dig in right away. Yeah, look, going from my balls to the back of my head.
Now that's on tape.
And on the brakes of the truck, grabbed it. What are you doing? You got a tick on your head.
You can see nobody's moving too fast this morning, but we don't want to get in a big hurry about ending it either. Pat's over here practicing some knots. Looks like Terry's down here polishing the pearlies. The primitive pack saddle withstood another trip. Must be put together okay. Looks like Steve's standing over here reflecting on the water and mountains. So it won't be long now, and we'll pack it all up and get ready to head out.
And once again, we start to saddle up. We'll leave behind a little medicine horseshoe here. Brush them down. Blanket. Making sure it's even. Saddle. Okay, and the next job is to get the panniers reasonably well balanced.
Killed himself on deck. Okay. Yeah, there. Both the front and the back. You're on.
Manty up, as the man says.
I'm right on the bottom of the bag. All right, go ahead. How's that? Look pretty good?
Yeah.
All right, let's tuck it. Let's do this together. Let's roll this front end up. Oh, here. Yeah, there you go. All right, now let's get to the front hospital corner. And hitch. As in, a little more. All right, got her.
Now the trick here, of course, is to make sure your cinch comes out centered when you're done tightening it up.
And
And make a loop
Okay.
around there.
all right, give me the loose end.
And George is, while Mike fishes the loose end through, George is going to make
Take
his
that into the back.
wrap around the bags. Down, under, and around. And that makes the front half.
Okay.
And then Mike has brought his side from the front, and now he's tucking it under.
Thank you, Lord. I know.
And there's one packed up mule.
Yeah, great. We had fun.
Hello, Mike. How are you?
That's good.
You kids stay over this way now. Your feet are all around.
Yeah, you bet me. Maybe I'll...
What do you want us to do?
Why don't you and I just start unpacking this thing?
Go ahead and take care of it. Let's get up on you want stuff and we're taking care of everything.
Two different herds of elk, about 100 total. We had 3 deer right in camp that wouldn't leave us the whole night.
All right.
2 little spikes and a doe.
All right. Good.
Excellent. God's country. How about it, Ryan?
Don't have trouble.
All right, thanks.
How you doing?
Great, you? That feel good, girl?
Had a good time with Head by All.
It sure was. Couldn't have had a better experience. Weather was perfect, scenery was gorgeous. You got me sold on this part of the country.
On my rope.
Take the saddles off. What do you want us to do with them?
Yeah, we can
Wait a
get this
minute.
off. Hey. He eats like, oh yeah, he sucks it up.
What's that?
Did you have any fun?
It was wonderful. Beyond words. It was great.
Post in there. Put your saddle on your post and take the pack.
Did you have any fun?
Oh, having a great time. I can actually ride a horse.
Tight shirt, looks like. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good times. We made it. How's my honey doing?
Back over here.
Careful.
They are. They wrap them in foil nowadays.
I never forgot.
I don't put anything on it. Just the way it comes off, whatever they doll it up with, whatever. Cow, girl's favorite cow, boy's favorite.
And you still get a steak for a decent cost. You know, that's when you get your food.
The men really carried a bow.
Well, Mike, according to Jim Ham, one of our premier bow makers, the mountain men probably didn't ever even know what a bow was until he came out to the mountains. At which point, he observed the Aborigines, better known as the Indians, shooting moving critters with these little sticks, flinging them at the animals.
Is that why they call them stick flangers?
That's why they call them stick flangers.
Feel good?
Well, we're going to leave you now, folks, as we tuck into this fine repast. It's been a grand end to a grand adventure, and I don't know what else I can say, except I'm hungry and I'm going to eat.